So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need to talk about what actually happened, and I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach, and when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what, I just need to get this off my chest. Like, I just need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now, like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like.
Yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal. Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, you know, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. And you're like, you have a marker on your hand. Like, I know you just wrote on the wall. And they're like, oh, okay. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
Chris, Timmy and I are confused, okay? And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads, okay? That wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do, okay? And here's where we're confused. You're this great guy, and I'm not just telling you that, okay? I'm telling you that because everyone tells us that, okay? We can't find anyone to say anything bad about you. Chris is a great guy. He's a good father. He's a good man. We're confused as to why you're not taking care of your beautiful children.
I'm not taking care of them right now?
Right now. Where are they?
I don't know where they're at. Honestly, I do not know where they are at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
7 years. That's how long it had been since the quiet man from Frederick, Colorado shocked the world. Since a seemingly perfect husband and father, Chris Watts, took away everything he'd ever claimed to love. In November 2025, a letter surfaced. It was short, handwritten, and signed in the same steady penmanship that once filled love notes to Shanann. But this time, the words were different. It began with 5 chilling ones. 7 years later, I spoke the truth. The letter was postmarked from Dodge Correctional Institution, Wisconsin. No one knew exactly who it was meant for. Some said it was addressed to a journalist. Others believed it was sent to Shanann's family. But when it leaked online, the world stopped again. In the letter, Chris hinted that what the world had been told wasn't the whole story, that someone else knew, and that the night of August 13, 2018, wasn't as simple as rage or passion. It was, in his words, a chain reaction I couldn't stop. True crime communities exploded overnight. Was he confessing again, or manipulating once more? Was this the truth, or another attempt to rewrite history from the safety of his cell? Authorities declined to confirm whether the letter was authentic, but for Shanann's family it didn't matter. For them, every word from him was poison, reopening wounds that would never heal. Still, the public wanted to know, what truth could possibly remain untold after all these years? What could Chris Watts still have to say? 7 years later. If you're just joining Dark Matters True Crime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because in Chapter 2, we open the letter line by line, and the meaning behind those final words will leave you cold. The letter was only 3 pages long, but every line felt heavy, deliberate, almost surgical. Chris Watts didn't ramble like a man lost in guilt. He wrote like someone building something, a narrative, a legacy, maybe even a defense. The first paragraph seemed ordinary, reflecting the same tone of remorse he'd used in countless interviews over the years. But then it shifted. The handwriting grew darker, heavier, as though the pen itself strained beneath the weight of what he wanted to say. I told the world what they wanted to hear, the letter began. But the truth was buried that night just like them. And I was told to stay quiet. He claimed that a second person was involved that night. Not in the murders themselves, but in what happened afterward. He didn't name names, but the insinuation was clear to anyone who had followed the case. Nickel Kessinger. Chris wrote about a phone call that supposedly took place hours after Shanann's death. He said he'd reached out for help, that he was told, "You have to finish this now, no turning back." He claimed that the voice on the other end of the line told him how to get rid of the problem. Whether true or delusional, the confession reignited years of speculation. Internet sleuths, journalists, and even retired detectives picked apart every sentence. Some called it a desperate attempt for relevance. Others swore it sounded like a man finally trying to cleanse his conscience. But the most disturbing part of the letter wasn't the accusations. It was the ending. "They've forgiven me," he wrote, "but I can't forgive myself. I see them when I close my eyes. I see her too. She knows I told now, and I think she's coming for me." That final line sent chills across every forum that discussed it. Who was she? Was it Shanann, or the woman he believed was still out there, watching? For investigators, the letter was nothing more than another manipulation from a narcissist seeking attention. But for those who read between the lines, it felt like something darker, something unfinished. And if Chris Watts truly had more to reveal, then maybe, just maybe, the case everyone thought was over was about to crack open once again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime, because we dive into the phone logs, secret notes, and the strange chain of events that suggest Chris Watts' story may not be over. When Chris Watts' letter hit the public, law enforcement in Wisconsin quietly reopened a limited internal review. Not of the murders, those facts were sealed in blood and evidence years ago, but of one haunting question. Had Watts really been in contact with someone else that night? It began when investigators followed up on a detail buried in his letter. A call made in the dark. Prison officials checked records from the days before the murders, tracing every digital footprint. Nothing new surfaced until a forensic analyst stumbled across something strange. A single, unlogged outgoing call from Chris's work-issued phone, made in the early hours of August 13, 2018, at 2:37 a.m., precisely 1 hour before Shanann's Fitbit stopped recording her heartbeat. The number wasn't saved under a name, but partial data revealed a familiar area code, 303, the same as Nicole Kessinger's last known residence. It wasn't proof. It wasn't even enough for an official statement. But it was enough to reignite the speculation Chris had set ablaze. In the days following the discovery, whispers began circulating through Dodge Correctional. Guards noticed that what seemed restless, pacing his cell long after lights out, scribbling on scraps of paper. When asked what he was doing, he reportedly told one officer, "They're not going to believe me until she tells them." A week later, a letter arrived at a Denver news station, postmarked from a Wisconsin prison. No return address, no name. Inside, there was only a small piece of paper with one line written in shaky handwriting. "Check the call. She knows." True crime forums exploded again. Was what sending clues, or simply feeding the fire for attention? Some believed the phone call was his final manipulation, a red herring to shift blame back toward Kessinger. Others weren't so sure. As one former FBI profiler noted, "It's not about truth for him, it's about control. If he can make people question what they know, he still has power." But what came next would shake even the skeptics. Because just days later, a journalist investigating the case would receive something even darker. An unmarked flash drive containing unseen photos, time-stamped from 2018, and a single, chilling audio clip labeled Confession of 73. The flash drive arrived in a plain envelope. No name, no address, just a USB sealed in black tape. The journalist who received it, a seasoned crime reporter from Denver, thought it was a prank. That was until she plugged it in. Inside was one audio file, confession_2.mp3. It was barely 2 minutes long, distorted and heavy with static. But through the crackling noise, one voice was unmistakable. Calm, hollow, almost resigned. "Chris Watts. They'll never understand," his voice said quietly. "I didn't want it to happen that way. I told her I couldn't do it. But she said it was too late. She was already there." A faint sound followed, breathing, maybe crying. Then silence. "I tried to fix it. I tried to make it stop. But it was already done." And then, as the file reached its end, 5 words echoed through the static. "She told me to finish it." The file cut off abruptly. No timestamp, no background noise, no way to verify its authenticity. But to those who heard it, it felt real, too real. Experts analyzed the clip, comparing voice frequencies, speech patterns, and known recordings from Watts' interviews. The match? 96%. Law enforcement refused to comment. But the timing was strange. The file appeared just days after the mysterious letter and the discovered phone log. Was someone helping Watts tell his truth? Or was Watts orchestrating this entire storm from behind bars? Whatever the answer, the world was left unsettled. Because if the voice was real, and if the message was true, then someone else had always been there. Watching. Waiting. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime. Because in Chapter 5, we uncover what investigators found when they traced the source of that haunting audio file. Within days of the mysterious file surfacing online, internet sleuths and crime analysts swarmed the story. Who sent it? How did they get access to what seemed like a private recording from a prison cell? A digital trace led investigators to an unexpected place. A public computer inside a small Colorado library, just 30 minutes from the Dodge Correctional Institution, where Chris Watts was being held. Security footage showed a woman, her face partially hidden by a hoodie and mask, entering the building at 9:43 a.m. She stayed less than 10 minutes. The flash drive had been mailed the very next day. When authorities enhanced the footage, the outline of a distinctive tattoo on her wrist caught their attention. A design eerily similar to one worn by Nicole Kessinger years earlier. Of course, that couldn't be confirmed. Kessinger had legally changed her name, moved states, and vanished from public life. But the implication was enough to ignite the internet. Had she resurfaced? Was this her way of clearing herself or shifting blame? Reporters reached out to Watts' attorney, who cryptically said, "Chris has been trying to tell the truth for a long time. Maybe someone finally listened." Inside the prison, Watts reportedly became more withdrawn. Inmates claimed he had stopped attending Bible study, stopped writing letters, and spent hours pacing his cell. One guard said, "He's scared, not of us, but of something outside these walls." Whatever was happening, it wasn't over. Someone out there wanted this story open again, and they had the proof to make it happen. The night of October 17, 2025, began like any other inside Dodge Correctional Institution. The lights dimmed, the guards made their rounds, and the restless hum of inmates quieted into uneasy silence. But according to several reports, including leaked logs later posted online, something deeply unsettling happened just after 2:14 a.m. in Chris Watts' cell block. A guard, whose name was later redacted, noted hearing faint whispers coming from Chris's cell. Not his voice, but another, distinctly female one. The guard assumed he was praying aloud, but when he looked through the small reinforced glass window, Chris was sitting upright on his bed, frozen. His lips weren't moving. Moments later, Watts pressed the intercom button and whispered, "She's here." Security footage captured him pacing in frantic circles before collapsing to the ground. For 5 long minutes, he remained motionless, until guards rushed in and found him trembling, mumbling over and over, "I told the truth. I told her I'm sorry." The warden ordered a full psychological evaluation, but the story spread fast. Inmates swore that Watts had been tormented for weeks, waking in the middle of the night, screaming Shanann's name, insisting he saw her shadow standing in his cell. Others claimed he was haunted not by guilt, but by fear that the person behind the leaked recording was closer than anyone thought. 2 days later, the prison's internal server went offline. Files related to Watts' mental evaluation vanished from the system. And yet again, another anonymous email surfaced in the inbox of a Colorado news station. Attached was an audio file of Watts sobbing, repeating, "If she tells the rest, they'll come for me. They'll all know." The email's subject line? 7 years later, the truth. That same morning, a request for a reopening of the Watts case was officially filed by a private legal group based in Denver. Whatever Chris Watts confessed in the darkness of that prison cell, it wasn't meant to stay buried. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime, where the shocking contents of the leaked audio are revealed for the first time. When the audio file titled "The Truth" began circulating online, skeptics dismissed it as a hoax. The voice was shaky, distorted, and muffled. But for those familiar with Chris Watts' recorded interviews, there was no mistaking the tone, the rhythm, or the raw panic in his voice. The clip lasted 3 minutes and 26 seconds, but every second dripped with unease. It began with the faint hum of the prison air vent, followed by Watts whispering, "I can't carry this anymore." Then came a pause and a sound that sent chills through listeners. A soft woman's voice, distant but clear, saying, "You didn't have to do it." Watts inhaled sharply, his voice trembling. "You don't understand, Shanann. They were supposed to take you away, not this. They told me it would all stop if I did what they said." The audio cracked with interference, but another line came through. A confession that shook even the most hardened investigators. "It wasn't just me. I wasn't supposed to be alone that night. She helped me plan it." The clip ended abruptly with the sound of heavy breathing and a guard shouting, "Watts, drop it." Within hours, the FBI's Digital Forensics Unit took the file offline. They neither confirmed nor denied its authenticity, but multiple insiders claimed it came directly from the prison's internal surveillance archive, leaked by someone with high-level clearance. As news spread, theories exploded across social media. Many pointed fingers back at Nicole Kessinger, the woman once described as Watts' mistress, a name the world hadn't heard in years. Others speculated the voice wasn't Shanann's ghost, but rather a recording Watts had hidden away, proof of someone else's involvement. Meanwhile, behind the walls of Dodge Correctional, Chris reportedly refused to speak for days. When a chaplain asked if he wanted to pray, he only muttered, "You can't pray away what's already been told." Whatever truth he finally admitted, it was darker than anyone expected. 7 years after that unimaginable night, Chris Watts finally broke his silence. Sitting in a cold, dimly lit room at Dodge Correctional, he faced the camera one last time. His voice was steady, eerily calm, as if he had rehearsed every word for years. "Everyone thinks they know what happened," he began. "But what they don't understand is that I've lived every day with their voices in my head. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, they're still with me, and that's the worst punishment." He looked down at his trembling hands before continuing. "I said I spoke the truth, but I lied not to the police, not to the media, but to myself. I wanted to believe that what I did was out of control, that something took over me, but it didn't. I made that choice, every second of it." For the first time, he admitted that he alone was responsible, not out of rage, not from manipulation, but from weakness. He spoke about the pressure of maintaining a perfect image, the resentment that grew inside him, and the moment it all shattered. As his confession ended, Chris whispered, "There's no forgiveness big enough for what I've done. But maybe, by finally speaking the truth, they can rest." The video was released to the public under court order, the 7-year confession tape. Millions watched, but opinions remained divided. Some saw a man finally accepting guilt. Others believed it was another manipulative performance. Still, one thing was undeniable. For the first time, Chris Watts didn't hide behind excuses. He faced his truth, and the world heard it echo back through the walls of his cell. What do you think? Was the leaked audio real, or another attempt to twist the story? If you want to uncover what comes next in this shocking case, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Matters True Crime. The next revelation is coming soon.
We just can't figure out why there's two Chris's, okay? We talked about that last night.
Yes.
We just can't figure it out. There's a Chris, okay? If somebody asked me my kid's child routine, I would say, I don't know, go ask their mom. That's the truth, right? And so it is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there, and you know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident, okay? You know what the clothes to put in there, you know what they have for breakfast, you know what they have for a snack, and a dinner, and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters, okay? I know you love them. And you're not faking that, are you? That's real, okay? There's a lot of guys who come in here and try to tell me that, and I know they're lying, okay? Because they can't answer those questions that you can answer, okay? But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
I cheated on her.
I know. And this is very good. Keep
I'm not proud of it. Like, I didn't think anything like that could happen. I didn't think I'd ever do it, but I did.
I know. Keep going.
And she accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was, I don't want to, I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her. And I feel absolutely horrible about this, but that's what I've been holding. When I didn't go to the Rocky game, I was with her.
Okay.
I went to dinner with her.
Okay. Keep going.
That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time.
Okay. You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth, because you're a truth teller.
When I tell you I fell out of love, because I fell in love with her.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, that's God's honest truth.
Okay. Who is her?
So I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Like, if something like this, I don't want her involved in this.
Okay. So can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes.
I knew that you would say you didn't want to get her involved.
But I was just,
because you'd like to take care of people.
She's a wonderful person, like,
Mhm.
I mean, she knew I was married, yes, and I told her we were going through issues, yes.
Yes.
And I told her that, you know, we were gonna get, you know, at the end, like, we were gonna get separated, like, once I figured out what that was, I didn't know what that was gonna be.
I know.
I had no idea, I like, you know, I saw her, took my breath away, and I'd never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I know you think I'm a figure, like, but like, it was, I never felt that way about anybody, like, anybody in my lifetime.
Mhm. Chris, that's not your fault, man.
No,
That's what I
no, I'm just,
Well, can we do this? I know you want to take care of her because it's because you're the type of guy that takes care of women. It is. You took care of your wife, you took care of your daughters, you were very good at taking care of her, and you want to take care of her. So can we make a deal? I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out of here wondering. So can we leave her out of it?
Okay.
Get back to your wife and your daughters.
okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back, like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about,
That was, I was holding back from last night.
that's
When
not
you
why you
talk-
failed today.
That's not how that works. You would have reactions to every single question, not just the ones that we talked about being important.
Like the ones you wanted me to lie about, like, is that what you're talking about?
No, the ones about her disappearance and knowing where she's at, and about seeing her last.
I was not lying about those things. So,
Can I tell you what I think?
Yes.
Okay. So, going into that interview today with Tammy, where we strapped you in, we knew all about Nikki. Okay? All about her. And you're doing a very good job right now, because you didn't have to tell us about her, but you did.
I couldn't hold that in anymore.
I know. We could see it in your chest,
I
and
can't.
in your eyes. Okay? Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so, that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife.
I am too.
Okay? So can I tell you, maybe, based on the people that I've talked to, and Tammy's talked to, based on all the investigations we've done, based on your cell phone, both your cell phones, your wife's cell phone, Nikki's cell phone, okay? Based on talking with family members and friends, and based on talking with everyone, here's what we know, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you right now, here's what we know, okay? Chris is a good man. Everyone said it. Okay, I'm not just telling you that because I, want to blow smoke here. You're a good man, okay? Nobody can fake answers about packing a backpack. Nobody. You either pack a backpack for your kids or you don't, okay? This should have been the happiest time of your marriage, okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened. I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that